Rarities of tech such as this preamp can't be kept hidden from bassists any longer. It has completely changed what I thought was possible for an onboard preamp. This is the Lusithand NFP Special. So it's small, there's almost no soldering, so it's really easy to install, and it pushes the sound that already exists in a way which makes the bass sound more hi-fi. It's for those who like a modern sound while retaining the natural characteristics of the setup that they already have, and offer a little bit of tonal shaping only found in the most prestigious of instruments. Prestigious meaning expensive, but won't break the bank. The NFP Special is a preamp designed by Nuno Maio, the founder of Lusithand Devices, which borrowed a few design elements from the wall preamp, added a few dashes of his own secret sauce, and created something really interesting. This particular preamp requires a multi-coil pickup like what we discussed in the last video. A multi-coil pickup is numerous individual coils, and there are numerous ways of wiring them all together. There's old way wiring, which combines all of these pickups in series in a row. So it would be like a single coil going this way. And then new way combines this coil and this coil, basically making a humbucker for each string. And that's where this preamp comes in. So the preamp, instead of mixing all of those single little mini humbuckers together, you have a buffer for each string. What you have in the end is much better string separation, and if you are the type of player who plays more than one string at a time, or if you play chords and that sort of thing, you'll definitely notice a difference. There isn't really a good way to turn off the preamp, so it's best to run this type of pickup with this type of preamp just running full time. First, I'd like to look at what the EQ does. It's not typical of what most preamps would do, where you have a treble and a bass and a mid-range, maybe a mid-shift and that sort of thing. This is actually a sweep, so it's a low-pass filter. So it starts high, and as you turn it down, you're actually rolling down to lower and lower frequencies until you are just left with bass frequencies. Then you have this other option where you can pull up, and it gives a Q boost, so gives it like an EQ bell over that particular frequency. And when it's turned, and when I leave it pretty open, like when I leave the high end pretty open, it's really bright. It's almost like a pick attack, like the wall bass would have. So a few engineering notes on how I recorded this setup. This is the same all maple Spector Euro LX5 that I used before, with the newly outfitted Rautia Multicoil wired in New-Way. This runs through a Mogami cable into the Sonic Farm Tantra bass preamp. That powers a Markbass New York 12.2 cab mic with a FET47 kit mic I assembled from micparts.com. Lastly, before I get to playing examples, my choice of strings are the Dunlop medium gauge Super Brights. Okay, so let's take a quick tour through some of the electronics to see how these things work and get a little bit oriented. Right now, this is completely open. This isn't affecting the low pass filter at all, and both pickups blended evenly. First note I really like about this and a lot of other active electronics is how you have a really smooth volume control. Right, it's very linear taper. It's a very smooth all the way up. So let's leave that full blast at the moment, and let's take a look first of all at the bridge pickup. So I think that's gonna it's gonna reveal a lot of what this preamp does. So right, we got a low pass filter. So from here, we can kind of choose which frequency to highlight as we start to go down. That's cool. So that's all the way down. That is the lowest frequency right there. Bringing some of that high end back. Now he says the peak or the highest point of this high pass filter is 4K, and after that it tends to roll off. But for bass frequencies, you don't really notice much above that anyway. Kind of like that. Okay, so let's go to the neck pickup to really reveal some of those lower notes, some of those lower, thicker sounds from the neck pickup. Okay, this is still wide open. And the low end is fantastic. I don't feel like I need to turn it up at all. So, which is great because there is no control for it anyway. So you can see how each note really comes through. Okay. Right? So now that I'm starting to play some chords, you can see how each note really comes through. So let's start playing with that. So let's turn that all the way down. Okay, pretty unusual for a really modern bass to completely suck out all of that upper mid and treble information, but it's there. Okay, so now for the other quick, cool little feature, you pull up, and then you have a bit of a boost in that frequency. So you really hear that shape or that Q boost in the EQ. I should grab a pick. That's not pretty. So let's bring back the blended sound and start playing with some of these controls. I'll turn them both all the way up. Actually, let's find a good frequency on the bridge pickup. Ah, there it is. I find that the back pickup really adds note definition. So see how that goes. Okay. There's a nice pick attack when you roll it down slightly. So you can see how this would really benefit from numbered pots or numbered knobs. Okay, so that sounds pretty bright, nice scooped, almost kind of sound. Now let's blend those together. pretty cool. There's a lot you can do with this preamp, probably too much, but you know, again, maybe I will swap these out for some numbered knobs just so I can really keep track of how much I'm controlling each EQ, including the blend. Although I really like leaving everything full on, maybe pull back on the bridge just a little bit. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'd like to close this off with a few thoughts. Since installing the preamp about a month ago, I've used it in a few professional situations, and I really like the diversity of it. The fact that I can take the EQ setting from one pickup and the EQ setting from another pickup and actually blend those together. There is the really linear taper with the volume knob, which also is true for the blend knob. Didn't really mention that, but that's a really, really nice touch. Full disclosure, this is not a supported or sponsored video. Nuno did send the preamp free of charge, but I did have to pay for some shipping, and I'm not sure if that exactly amounts to it being a sponsored video necessarily. I do get to keep the preamp after the fact, but my opinions are unaltered, solely my own experience. So a couple thoughts since the install about a month ago. I've had a couple professional sessions with it, and I found it to really make the bass more versatile, and the fact that you can blend the pickups with unique settings and with varying amounts, just like the volume knob does. There's also really smooth taper with the blend knob as well, so you can get very, very specific or finite with how you mix those two pickups together. Really great touch. Second thought is that I kind of miss having the bass control, because I usually give it a bit of a boost on my other Spector with the Aguilar preamp, just because it does have a nice kind of bass boost on it. But I also can just do that on the amp, I guess, or whatever preamp that I'm using to record. Also, this preamp has the option of operating at 18 volts. I didn't have enough room in my Spector at the time to fit a second battery in there, but I think maybe with some finagling I might be able to get a second one in there, just to see what the benefits of 18 volts and having that extra headroom would actually be like. So I do recommend this preamp to anyone who's looking for something that enhances the tone that they already have. I found it really easy to dial in the settings that worked for me for each song that I've recorded with it since installing it, and I do find it incredibly useful. On a final note, I just want to say thank you to anybody who checked out the last video and they subscribed and they left comments and all that. You know, it's great for the channel. This is a brand new thing for me. I'm trying to make more videos as we go. I do have a few in the works, but the support that I've had so far has been really, really great. So just want to say thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please do all of the like, subscribe thing that people do. Anyway, thanks again. We'll see you in the future.